Hi, I'm Namrata Tripathi, the publisher of Kokila, an imprint at Penguin Young Readers. Thank you for joining us for our first Kokila Q&A. We hope that this might make the process of publishing with us at Kokila and also learning about the industry in general a little more accessible and a little less opaque. So our second open submissions period, where we accept unagented manuscripts, is about to begin. And so we wanted to answer some of the questions that you all sent in advance of that. And thank you so much for sending those in. Let's get right to it. I'll turn it over to our team. There's editor Joanna Cardenas, editorial assistant Sydney Monday, and associate art director Jasmine Ribeiro. So over to you guys.
So if we're interested in your work, you can expect a response within about a year. For all submissions, you'd include a synopsis of what your project's about, why it fits our mission, plus your bio. So if it's a graphic novel, you'd include a full synopsis of your work, a sample chapter, and a work sample. So in the subject line of your email, you'd include the age category, which would be PB for picture book, MG for middle grade, or YA for young adult. You'd also include the title of your work and your name. We are open to works in progress, specifically if it's a heavily researched nonfiction project or a graphic novel. In those cases, please include a query letter, a full synopsis, and a work sample. So we super appreciate your enthusiasm, but we would appreciate if you sent your strongest work, so only one. So if we're interested in your work, we promise we'll let you know, and we'll reach out to you regarding your revision.
Yes. No, but you can submit an original work. We set aside time to read batches of the manuscripts in a conference room together. Sometimes there's candy and chocolate. And then if one of those stories resonates with one of us, we'll bring it to the group to read as a team and discuss if we want to go to the next step. We received over 400 submissions last open window. We don't have quotas, we're just looking for your strongest work. So far, we've offered one contract and we've bookmarked several illustration portfolios.
We do, but not if it is supposed to be a metaphor for generalized acceptance or inclusion or difference. We are, however, really interested in subverting this form, since so often animals are coded as white in picture books. So if you have a story that is anthropomorphic and includes really great cultural specificity, we'd of course be interested.
I think in the most general sense, we're all kind of drawn to stories of duality and hybridity, but I think that for our list, the stories that we publish are really going to be driven by the individual tastes of each editor. And a good way to find out about what we're thinking, what we're reading, what we're really into these days is to follow us on social media, and you'll find our handle at the end of the video.
If you're an author illustrator, we'd like to see a full sketch dummy with 2 sample pieces of art so that we can see how you envision the final book to look. And the dummy can be sketches of the spreads with the text placed into the spread. It doesn't have to be designed, just neat enough for us to read. If you're an author, send us the full text. We don't expect sketches or illustrations. Not every picture book submission will be author illustrator.
Right, and a big part of what brings us joy in this job, and something that we have experience and expertise in, is pairing text and art. So let us take care of that.
Yeah. If the page breaks are leading up to something like a big reveal, or it's part of how the story should be read, then include them. But it's not a requirement.
And definitely keep in mind that an illustrator might also have input in that as they're trying to work out how to visually break out the story.
For illustrators showing portfolios, always show your best work in the current style that you are working in. We want to see what you can bring to a project, so works in progress aren't helpful. 10 images is a good amount of work to have ready for your submission. What we want to see is how you apply your style to different topics, different subjects, and we want to see your point of view.
The stories that we're really looking for include, but are not limited to, stories from communities of color, stories from people with disabilities, stories that are LGBTQIA+, or stories about immigration. Yeah, so we really tend to let the creator take the lead on this, as working with an agent is a personal choice.
Definitely, but we do always consult with the creator if that's something that they're interested in. We'll answer any questions that they have.
So after we find a submission that we're interested in, we'll go ahead and reach out to the creator, either with notes that we all have from reading the submission, or just to deal outright.
And as far as steps that a creator needs to take after that happens, there's nothing formal. We do suggest that you ask lots of questions. We'll probably reach out to you for either a phone call or a video call, and that'll be your opportunity to get to know as much about us as you can, about how we work, and whether that fits with your process. So this is a great question. When an agent is negotiating on your behalf, they're going to ask about the specific components of a publisher's offer, and that can include the advance, the royalties, the territories, and so much more. So you should also be asking these questions. Publishers are going to expect that you want to negotiate, and you know your needs best. So if you communicate your needs to us, we'll be able to find an agreement that works for everyone.
For contracts, always ask questions. They're full of all kinds of legal jargon. So if you see anything that's confusing, don't hesitate to reach out to your editor and ask, hey, what does this mean?